Hey everybody, CVH here, and in today's video we're going to be experimenting with a different type of Midrange Sorcerer. I'm calling it Midrange Sorcerer because a lot of the general game plan is still the same as you might expect in a normal Midrange Sorcerer deck. As you can see here, the early turns are taken up with the 2 cost and 3 cost cards we normally see, with some pretty serious exceptions, the East Empire Crafters and the Mentors of the Watch. These cards basically form the focus of the deck, or at least what makes it different from a normal Midrange Sorcerer deck. And we have a lot of higher cost cards that take advantage of them, with the Corrupted Shades and the Frost Trolls being noteworthy 4-cost plays instead of Mystic Dragon or Royal Sage, and these are perfect after an East Empire Crafter because we get a nice durable guard off of them. We're even playing the Shadowfen Priest, which I do mention I like alongside the Shades. If we're going to play Shades, we should play ways to take advantage of them, the Priest, and ways to give them guard. Both of these can be really obnoxious guards early, so hopefully these cards can allow us a bit more game against other aggressive decks and take our opponents off guard a bit. Some normal things: Emmerich, Wrath of Sithis, Nogleaf, and then the 3 copies of Frost Giant. Didn't come up with a clever name for this deck, so I just titled it Frost Giant because you're not going to see this card in too many constructed lists, but I felt like it might be perfect if we can give it guard with the East Empire Crafters and Mentor of the Watches, and it does kind of fit the mid-range sorcerer theme, right? We're curving out into some really powerful threats. Normally a mid-range sorcerer would probably be playing Bone Colossus here, but since we want durable guards for our Mentors and East Empire Crafters, an 8-cost 10/10 guard regenerate, which can also gain us health, could not only be a serious threat against other slow decks, but it could also give us that nail in the coffin we need against aggro decks so they can no longer win the game, because Sorcerer doesn't traditionally have great ways to heal. So now we have a pretty similarly threat-dense mid-range Sorcerer deck with some really sweet defensive options that are a little reliant on combos and could be slow to get off the ground sometimes, but I'm expecting to have some really fun and entertaining games. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and as always, if you do, feel free to leave a like, stay subscribed to the channel for more Legends content, follow my stream in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Got a Battle Mage for our first game. I'm gonna hope it's a more aggressive Battle Mage. Wow, this hand actually looks really sick against aggro. So let's just keep it all. And honestly, even against a slower deck like Merrick Battle Mage, a giant guarded Frost Troll probably isn't easy to deal with. So do I want to commit to using the Ring Charge this early? I think I'm actually gonna hold, because if I use the Ring Charge now, I'm kind of forced to using it for the East Empire Crafter and the Frost Troll. So I'll just pass here. A bit of a slower start, which could be fine if he's an aggro deck. Alright, so that is a pretty traditional aggro start. Now I want to protect the East Empire Crafter to the extent that I'm going to put it in the right lane. He doesn't have a clean trade on board, but he could buff it with something. He can never be too careful, right? He could be like a Ward Craft or Sharpshooter Scout, and if I put it in the right now, he can't play Lightning Bolt yet, so I think it's just going to be totally safe. Ooh. A free kill. Not bad. Wow, start is kind of nuts. And that's a nice looking uncontested 4-2. Let's contest it with a Frost Troll with guard that gains an attack and a health. Alright, I'm not going to attack here because he could play another Afflicted Lid or Sharpshooter Scout and give himself another draw. How does he answer this? It's a turn 3 2/7 with Regenerate and guard. And I thought Dark Guardian was good. How to just cut Dark Guardians. Seriously, don't do that though. I did go down to 2 Dark Guardians in this deck, just for space. The numbers are a little weird, it's just an experiment. Oh, that's how he answers it. That's lame. That's super lame.
Do not test me, knave.
I think I will just play Dragon Tail and Sorcerer's Negation. We had a lot of other okay plays too, but I do think this is the best. And again, don't feel comfortable attacking yet. God, Sorcerer's Negation is so good. Just killed a 6/4 with my 2-cost action. Alright, I think it's about time for another Frost Troll. That is solid. That's definitely solid. We can silence off the item if we want. And then I guess we see whether or not he's going to be attacking my East Empire Crafter.
You must be cleansed.
Our opponent might just want the face damage at this point. And if he wants the face damage too much, we could get a guard Frost Giant. If he goes face and it's Mentor, the Watcher could give it guard anyway. Now, if I were him, I'd probably kill the East Empire Crafter as soon as possible. but I don't know his hand either. He's just going all in. That's annoying in its own way though, because it does have a crazy high attack value right now. We could just play 2 guards that aren't Frost Giant. And if I do that, I play around another Shield Breaker too. If he's playing 1 Shield Breaker, he's probably playing multiples.
Die like a dog.
Mother of mud.
Nicely done.
Now this dies for free, but I think I kind of need to do it, just in case he has a Shield Breaker. So he only has if he only had 1 guard to go through, I lose to a Silence plus 1 more damage, or just a Shield Breaker on the Mystic Dragon. So I'll just take the unfavorable there, finish it off with Shadowfin or something.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
Alright, well, I can kill the 8-2 and develop a giant guarded Frost Giant, which is what we were hoping would happen at some point. I think that's just what I have to do. If I could play Shadowfin Priest to attack one of these and also guard something else, I might do it, but since nothing else in my hand gets hit by the East Empire Crafter's effect, this is what the play will be.
Mother of mud.
I am ready to join the circle.
We'll see how they like someone who...
None of these are silences. Oh, he doesn't have a silence. That's so good for me. Ooh, when I drew a Nogleaf too, I can just double guard in this lane just to be totally safe. Let's see.
That was fought well. Hiding will not save you.
And of course, I just realized that Frost Giant and Frost Troll, named similarly, work very well together. They both have Regenerate, so technically if the Frost Troll regenerates, this card will allow you to gain a little bit of health because of it.
They can hide.
But does he randomly have Lethal here?
My destiny is fulfilled.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Fortunately not. Alright, Frost Troll value. I mean Frost Giant value. Gaining 3 life. Never seen anything like it. It's beautiful. Alright, so then we can double trade here. This is very exciting to me. By the way. I'm just gonna trade this in. Go for East Empire again. Corrupted Shade. Double trades. And I guess we can ward up the Nogleaf now that it's 4 health, but Vigilante was the only thing that was gonna kill it. I'm gonna give him the old, I don't know, I don't want to well played him yet. He well played me twice, but since this game isn't alright, now it's 3 times 3 is a charm. So that'll gain us 4 life, that'll gain us a couple more life. We'll gain 7 life at the start of our next turn with Regenerate. This is kind of the dream, and it's the first game we played with the deck too. Come on, pass, let's see the Regenerate value. We need to see it. Well, that's pretty solid though. And we did have another backup East Empire Crafter in case he attacked the first one. He dealt like 8 damage that turn, so I get why he went face, but we've all made that mistake, disrespecting an East Empire Crafter for just a turn too long. You kept 2. It's definitely a hand that could get aggressive. It'd be really nice to know what kind of spell sword he is. I think I'm gonna start with the Ward Crafter.
Friend.
If he's playing tokens, it prevents him from playing like a Bruma Profiteer or something in the left. And this deck should be good at pressuring too. We've only played against 2 aggro decks so far. Alright, well, gonna play East Empire. I wonder if I give a nod to Aerostorm. Like, Execute ruins my East Empire Crafter dreams anyway, but Aerostorm, that'd just be depressing. I'm going to. Actually, I've seen it. I don't think it's good. I think Aerostorm is quite bad, actually. But I have seen it at least once in, like, the last week on the ladder. And, you know, it's not a card I want to really lose to this video. And if we knew it was tokens, I would play on the left, too. Like, if he played something, like a Bruma or whatever we trade, and just keep playing on the left, probably. Unless our East Empire crafter is immediately threatened by something. Probably Shade.
Die like a dog.
Might eat the Dark Guardian for free. We've used all of our ring charges though. We've had a really powerful start to show for it.
A little distraction might prove useful. Die like a dog. Your blood will spill.
Negation on my own guy does not seem great. I spend a card, which is my whole turn this turn. Reduce the health of my Shade, reduce the attack by 1 as well, just to keep a weaker version alive. I'm hoping this just means he doesn't have an Execute, because the East Empire Crafter has lived for way longer than I expected it to, but he could have a Javelin at this point. Javelin is just about as bad.
Behold my power.
Good old Ward Crafter's trucking along. Now, of all the control decks out there,
Your blood will spill.
I probably wouldn't want to play against Spell Sword the most because they have so many targeted removal actions.
Let none defile our temple.
They have obvious weaknesses against some decks, like no Ice Storms, you know, no real solid ramp. Late game isn't quite as good as Ramp Scout, but against us, we're just trying to make like very solid threat after threat. This could be a bad matchup. Could Mammoth Sorcerer's Negation. I want to get Daggerfall Mage Value, but I don't think it's going to happen. Could just Mammoth and not Sorcerer's Negation. Yeah, I mean, no reason to kill that yet, I don't think. Unfortunate time for Knight of the Hour. It's never a fortunate time for Knight of the Hour unless they're playing it from their hand.
Your blood will spill. By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
This is definitely not a comfortable position to be in. If that Undying Dragon's allowed to attack, it could spell our demise. Yeah, we're good against slower, or we're good against faster decks in the late game with our guards. Not so much against the deck that is more filled with removal than any other deck in the game. So I think we just have to commit to a bit more of an aggressive plan. Interesting, he could have executed the East Empire Crafter a long time ago, right, if it was over there in his hand?
The longer the odds, the sweeter the victory.
Don't think there's a way around using all of our resources, really. We could Negation instead of playing Dragon Tail, or we could Negation instead of playing Bolt. But then we lose our board presence because the Hive Defender can still trade. It doesn't die, it just gets silenced.
I am sworn to protect you.
Yeah, well, Silence is good against Lydia. Not really good enough. We get to push 6 more damage, but then what? I guess we can do that. Slightly better.
You must be cleansed.
Your blood will
Too late for
spill.
you.
Full White Run.
Yep, turn 10. It's time for Manticoras. I've heard at least one case of someone, I'm not gonna name, but someone taking Manticoras out of a yellow control deck. Please don't do that, guys. Please don't do it. It's very good, I promise. Honestly, I might just trade it in place of this over here. Yeah.
Your blood will spill.
Sorcerer's Negation represents 2 damage this turn. If I use it on the Manticora, I could just use it next turn on the Tree Minder and try to push 5. It still doesn't give me any shot at lethal. I mean, if he was at 5, maybe we could have a shot, but he's at 13. And I'm sure he has more ways to heal coming up shortly. And in addition to the massive amounts of removal. So this next draw is going to need to be insane. And it was not. Yeah, this is pretty much GG. Bad matchup. It's good to know that. We can make a half-hearted attempt to stay alive in this game. Now, do we want to get rid of the Hissgrove too? We could also Hissgrove, or we could Shadow Fin the Hissgrove and silence that. How am I winning the game? Alright, so here's my only plan for lethal, because I have to kill him next turn, right? I'm going to Shadow Fin the 5/5, and Sorcerer's Negation this Tree Minder, let the Hissgrove proc, draw exactly Encano, because 4 plus 8 plus 5 is exactly 13.
You must be cleansed.
I think this is the only potential way I ever win this game. He needs to just get his Hissgroves, little Swamp Leviathans on the board, his little A-dates, not have any more removal, any immediate heal, any guards, or any prophecies for that matter, at least in the first rune. And then I have to top deck exactly Encano out of a total of 36 cards. Alright, the dream is dead.
Behold my power.
Let none defile
And he had a
our
heal
temple.
and a guard. And remove.
It has been an engaging hunt.
So now I'm gonna lightning bolt my own face for style points. Hey, Frost Giant, shut up to the party. You are much worse in this matchup, buddy. I don't even. Should I show it and freak him out? Okay. That you weren't expecting that. Maybe you'll scare him into conceding. Even if both of these.
I shall end their blasphemy.
Yep. Either one of the 6s can still attack and just kill me. Alright, GG. Bad matchup. Again, we find ourselves with the East Empire and the Frost Troll. He's shipped to... I might just keep it all. I have the ring again. Negation can deal with a Goblin Skulk, and we can take it a bit slower against Assassin. I assume it's a more aggressive Assassin. Our deck should have a better time playing the defensive role.
Brave meeting. May you walk on warm sands. Of course, I'm on your side.
So Traitor was the card he kept. Definitely not a good negation target, so I'm just going to go ahead and play the East Empire Crafter.
Taste my steel.
Top 5 Legend too.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
Well, I guess I do have to play a Troll on the left. You can double trade into it, but I need to not take 1,000,000 points of damage.
Die like a dog.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
RIP East Empire Crafter number 1. We could negation that, but then we won't get our 2-1 for free. It's kind of lame. Could just play another Frost Troll. I think it's okay enough. Not really feeling the pressure. I could negation it just, you know, out of desperation here.
Didn't see this coming, eh? Ifra stands with me.
It's actually a fairly good negation target there. Negation will silence it, bring it down to a 3-1. I can trade with my Frost. Then I can also contest over there. It does allow these to trade evenly, which I think is okay with me. I could try to force it to survive by playing negation on the 4-2, but I'm getting 2-1 out of the deal anyway. Shouldn't complain there. Do I worry about the damage much at all? Because I can just play Daggerfall on the right. Daggerfall is answered very well by Shearpoint Dragon this turn. Kind of force him to have it. If he doesn't have Shearpoint, I don't really know what he does in this situation. We haven't seen whatever he got off the May turn. I'm just going to play Daggerfall.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
It's between Daggerfall and negation.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
I guess he can leaf flicker that too. Okay, we can play this over here to make sure we can kill that if he leaf flickers my 4-3. And I'll just shackle this to not take 3 more damage. Gotta assume it's leaf flicker now. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm happy about being wrong. That's exciting. Wow. The Frost Troll survives. Definitely trading with a 3-1 here.
Sheor take you. Sheor take you.
I think I will just kill the wereback because of its higher attack value. Some more power on the board. Yeah, we can hit him down to 26, sure. Oh, it's goblins. Jeez, who knew? Maybe I should have known, but I didn't. Interesting. Well, now I probably would have kept my negation if I had realized. Fortunately, Nogleave is also really good against this deck. I also have an 8-6 over here, so if I want to start turning up the heat, I think I could. Yeah, I mean, we have like 20 on board. And we're at 18, so even if he gets prophecies to stop me... Yeah, I think I just... This deck doesn't even really have that many prophecies, right? To my knowledge. Attack with the guards first, they're more valuable here. I could probably stop at 12, right? No real reason to go in further. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly easy to kill him next turn. Drop another guard down over here, sure. Should be good to go. So the werebat was what I got off the matron. Goblin Assassin. We played a little bit of that on the channel too. Not sure if it's his build or not. I mean, these cards are obviously the same. The goblins.
Of course I'm on your side.
I mean, those are large, don't get me wrong. But so's my Frost Troll.
Well fought. It has been an engagement.
Just in case a Shrieking Harpy wants to come down and ruin my fun. No prophecy deals with all 4 of these guys, so we should get that attack in first there. Nice.